Hi there. I have something exciting to talk about today, and it's social media. I am personally very passionate about the topic, and I enjoy every opportunity to talk to people about social media. So, the topic that we're going to cover today in this video is organizing your social media for your practice so it's less overwhelming, you spend less time doing it, and you get larger impact. So I want to say a few things about myself. So my name is Tanya, and I am the manager of digital marketing here at Marketing for ECPs. I have about 12 years of experience in marketing. Up until the moment when I joined the agency, I was always working on the internal marketing teams. So I understand the struggles and the challenges of the business. I was the one working with agencies before, so I have that perspective. So in the company in Marketing for ECPs, I started as a brand engagement strategist. So I was the one actually doing social media for the clients. And then I transitioned into a leadership role. And now I am lucky to guide a team in helping our clients with social media. I want to start with talking about the importance of social media in general. So a few stats I wanted to share. So 28% of Gen Z and 25% of millennials these days kick off their medical research on social media before going anywhere else, before Googling, before using AI to search for anything, before opening the website. So why this is interesting? Social media is no longer just a validation tool. It is becoming the first touch points with patients. This is important because previously we would be saying that patients go to social media pages after they did some other exploration, after they looked at the website, and they just want to validate and see the business on social media to understand if they want to do business. So that is changing, and social media is becoming the first touch point with your patients. Another interesting number I wanted to share. So, about 91% of healthcare professionals these days use social media for professional purposes, and 65% of them use it for patient education. So, why this matters to you is that you may not use social media for your eye care practice, but your competitors will, and you'll be the one falling behind. And we obviously don't want that. A few things I wanted to cover today as we talk about organizing your social media to make it feel less overwhelming and use your time efficiently. And three main sections I wanted to cover. It's content planning, it is video creation, and it is the algorithms and making sure that your social media content reaches as many people as possible. Let's dive into content planning. So, obviously, the biggest pain point around social media is that you don't have time. Running a business and making sure that the practice is operating well is a lot of work on its own. So, we want to make sure that you use your time as efficiently as possible when it comes to social media. And the first step is planning. What do you want to talk about? The first strategy that I recommend that you use is looking at the key dates that fall into that month, let's say that you're planning content for. So outside of the obvious, outside of just looking at the actual holidays that are happening within that month, which is amazing, what I recommend you doing is Googling a health awareness calendar that's related to eye care and planning your posts around that. So, as an example, Glaucoma Awareness Month. So, when you check the health awareness calendar and what are those days, weeks, or months dedicated to eye hair observances, I recommend that you approach it in a more holistic way instead of just dedicating one post saying that it's glaucoma awareness month. I recommend that you plan a series of posts related to the topic, so you can break it into multiple posts. You can talk about the condition in general, you can talk about the symptoms of a disease that you're talking about. Then you can schedule a post about prevention and any advice you have on that. So there are multiple things that you can cover related to the topic, so don't just stick to stating the facts that it's this month or day. So now moving on to the next recommendation, I highly encourage you to get inspired by other creators. So you can steal, but you should steal creatively. The way social media works is that there are trends emerging here and there, and you absolutely should be looking at other content creators and accounts that you admire. Pay attention to what they're doing, to the formats, to the styles, to the visuals that catch your eye, match your personal taste. Also create engagement, and you absolutely should be using the idea and implementing those to your own practice. So make sure that you're adding your creative touch and you're adding a little magic of your own brand voice to the trends. Schedule half an hour at the end of the day and just hit follow on all the accounts that you enjoy. Maybe some competitors you like to keep your eye on and you know that they're doing a good job. So make sure that you follow them, and then in your feed, they will be coming up and you can stay educated on what other content creators are doing. I would highlight the importance of staying on brand with social media trends. There are some things that are, they're pretty silly, lighthearted. My recommendation is to make sure that whatever trend you are doing, it feels natural to you and it feels natural to your staff to participate in. So, like the funny social media videos with people dancing and doing some silly stuff, it can feel very fun and authentic if people feel comfortable doing it. However, if you feel that the stuff you're engaging in it feels a little awkward and not very natural in it, then choose something else, because it can create the opposite impression. Instead of being fun and authentic, it can feel also awkward and unnatural. So do make sure that it is true to your practice and the team that is participating. So moving on to the next one, use our toolbox library. So what my team has been working on for a few years at this point, they've been creating social media post templates related to eye care industry. They've been doing the research of what works well. They've been analyzing what practices want to talk about in general. They were analyzing trends, and we created, at this point, we're over 1,500 templates that are all professionally created and edited content for eye care. So the things you will find there, it is eye health education, eye care tips, fashion related content. If you carry a range of eye frames, you will find a lot of content there. We have graphic posts, we have video content as well. So when you are planning your content, I highly encourage you to open the toolbox library. So the beauty of it is that we add more content every month. So if you're planning for November, for example, you will open the library and you will get a fresh batch of content that was created specifically for that month. So any holiday that's happening there or any trends that's emerging, you will find some assets related to that. You will be able to apply your branding to the template so it feels more organic coming from your practice, because it's going to feature the colors and the fonts that your practice is using. So it's going to feel authentic to you. A few other quick tips. So do keep a list of ideas. I prefer to have it in my notes on my phone. I think it's the easiest. But the idea hits you, you write it down right away. I recommend that you batch your content creation. You do it once for a longer period of time, like a month. It's a pretty good cadence, because the mental load of thinking about what you want to post every single week is going to be a lot for you, and we want to keep it efficient. So once a month is a good starting point. I would also think about all the directions you want to educate, you want to entertain, and you want to inspire your audience. If you're constantly talking about education, it's going to get overwhelming. And I recommend that you create a variety of topics and you flip through the formats. Also, if something is working really well, like for example, you have a blog on your website that is performing really well, then repurpose it. At this point, you can use AI to help it reformat the content that is working well into a social media caption. So do it, utilize that feature. If something is working, repurpose for different platforms. And now I want to move on to the second section, which is video creation tips. So Making videos adds a lot to your social media presence. It makes you feel more personable. It provides your audience with an insight into what life in your practice looks like. It features the faces of your staff. But what I want to say is that video content that you create does not need to be absolute perfect quality. You want it to look somewhat, professional, but it's not necessary to obsess over every single detail and making it perfectly edited, because what it can do, it can actually take away from the authenticity of your content. So it's supposed to be a little bit imperfect. Just allow your audience to get that insider access to what you guys are doing, and it's gonna pay off really, really well. So a few things that I wanted to talk about here. So the first one is the equipment. Overall, we like to tell our clients that you should not worry about having a professional camera. Absolutely, your smartphone is perfectly fine. If your smartphone has a rear-facing camera and it's a decent quality, you should be okay. A few extra equipment items that I can recommend if you want to take it to the next level. The first one is tripod. So tripod will allow you to stabilize your phone, avoid that shaking, especially if you're making videos with multiple people participating. I would absolutely recommend that you install a tripod and you put your camera or your phone on it so that you have stable quality of the video. I would also recommend to get a ring light. This is something you can get for pretty cheap. So if you are making any videos indoors where you are facing the camera, maybe it's a little bit of like a little bit of a podcast or just the doctor or someone else talking to the camera, I highly recommend ring light, because the difference it can make in the quality of the video is huge. And also, social media is a little bit of a vanity fair, so we all want to look the best we can when we're being posted on social media, so it can make everyone feel a little bit more feel their best when they are posted on social media. And the last thing, Bluetooth microphone. So again, if you're doing a lot of talking videos, I would recommend that you get a small microphone that you can just attach somewhere to your shirt, and it's gonna create a better quality of sound. All of those don't cost very much. You can probably get a set of everything under $150 from Amazon. Another thing I want to emphasize here is the importance of lighting techniques. So you can see a couple of examples here how good lighting versus bad lighting can make a very big difference. So avoid backlighting. This is when I have a very strong source of light coming right behind. So it can make my face look really dark and you can't really see my facial expressions very well. The next thing I wanted to talk about here is editing videos. I know that this part can be a little overwhelming, but it shouldn't be. When you are filming videos in your practice, some of the videos could be good to use as is just one clip, but in many cases you would need to do a little bit of editing, even if it's very minimal. So some of the editing steps you may need to take when you are editing a video, cropping the length, that one is very easy, right? So maybe you did a little clip of yourself talking to the camera, and then there's a weird silence at the end before you turn off the camera. So you just want to cut it off so it doesn't seem awkward to your audience. You may want to combine multiple video clips together, maybe adding some transitions, but honestly, I would say with transitions, don't rely heavily on transitions. I would say the less transitions, like anything fancy, the less you do, the better. Keep it simple. You may want to add some text to the screen, right? So you're filming yourself or you're filming your staff, and there's a little bit of context you want to add, place text onto the screen. Or what you can also do is add a filter or special effect to the video. Again, it can make the picture look a little bit lighter or darker. So filters can help you adjust the quality a little bit more. And as for the tool you may use for editing, I recommend CapCut. My team loves CapCut as well. It's easy to use and pretty simple to navigate. In your videos you can use different sounds. What I want to say is when you're posting for a business account, you can't take just any audio that you like and put it on top of your video. There are more strict rules when it comes to business accounts compared to personal accounts. So with personal accounts, there is a training audio and you can just put it on top of a video and you will be fine. But with business, we have to be a little bit more cautious. So my recommendation is to stick to royalty-free sounds. There are online platforms where you can download royalty-free audio. You can just Google it. And if you are using a trend where that requires a training audio, you may have to get creative with re-recording the audio yourself. And then also think about voiceovers. It's a great way to provide personalized audio content for your viewers. You can either just kind of talk through what's happening while the video is being filmed, or you can add it on top of a video later. That's up to you, but do think about adding voiceovers to your videos. And this is where I wanted to talk about text on screen. So in our videos, we very often we place text on top of our videos because it just adds a little bit of more interest. It can provide clarifications on things that are happening in the video. So my recommendation is to make those captions that you put on top of a video as concise as possible. When people are watching a video online, they don't have the time to really read into it. The attention lifespan is very, very short. So keep it very, very concise. Text on screen is different from subtitles. Subtitles is something that can be turned on by the user. They are auto-generated by the platform, and it just transcribes what is being said in the video into automated subtitles. That is different. So whatever you put on top of your video during the editing process is gonna stay there. It cannot be turned on and off compared to subtitles that can be turned off. And now I want to move on to the last section of my video, and it is the algorithms. I want to talk about the ways to make your content show up for more users. After you did all that work creating your content, you obviously want to make sure it gets momentum. So why reach matters? Reach is the number of users that saw your content on their screen. And I have to say that content never goes viral by luck, by chance. It is the algorithm that puts content in front of people, and there's logic to it. So what you want to do is to work with that algorithm so that your content can appear in front of your potential patients as much as possible, so you can build brand awareness and familiarity. So when the time comes for that potential patient to book an appointment, you actually are the top of mind, and they proceed with becoming your patient. So what are the algorithms? Algorithm is a ranking system that decides which post will show up on the screen for the user. So it's not chronological order. So it's not as simple as these are the accounts that the user is following, and it's going to show all the posts that they published in chronological order. It's not that way. It really predicts the interest of every user, and social media is smart enough to put those posts that people respond to and want to see at the top of their feed. And platforms really want to reduce the noise and reduce the content that is irrelevant for each user, because their goal is to keep people on the platform for as long as possible. So if the user is scrolling through their feed and everything they see is like not very relevant, not very interesting, they will leave the platform. And this is the biggest fear for the social media algorithm. So now I want to mention something that is very interesting, and it's quite recent. So in July this year, Google and Bing rolled out an update that Instagram posts are now showing up in search results. So at the same place where you would see your website come up when someone is searching for an eye care practice at your location, this is where your Instagram posts would also be showing up. And it is a major change. And I just wanted to give you a little bit of a visual of what it looks like. So again, this is a search of dry eye treatment in a location. And you can see a range of websites and practices that came up here. And one of the search results on the first page is the Instagram post. So what it means to you? So first of all, it has a big impact on the website traffic. So on the one hand, you may see that some people, they click on the social media link before they go to the website. So you can potentially see a drop in traffic on your website, which actually is not that. It is just redirecting people to your social media. So I'm coming back to the points that I made at the beginning, that social media is becoming the first touch point for many patients. What also I recommend you to do is to treat your social media posts as almost like a blog that you would put on your website, and use this similar techniques to make that content be favored by Google algorithm. So something you can do is use alt text. When you're posting on Instagram, you can add alt text that will describe the graphic. So what that does, it gives the algorithm a little bit more insight into what the post is about, so it can again show up higher in the search results. And also, when you are writing captions for your social media, make sure you include some of those keywords. Make sure you mention the location where you at, and the key services you provide, so that again in Google results you can show up higher. And you can really leverage that update that was rolled out. I want to summarize. In this video, we spoke about a few key areas where you can improve your social media work and make it a little bit less overwhelming. So the first one was content planning, and we went over a few strategies that you can use to come up with topics you want to talk about. We spoke about video creation and some of the equipment, as well as the software you can use to help you create videos efficiently, as well as some of the editing techniques. And then we also spoke about the algorithm, and specifically the Google algorithm, and how you can make your social media content show up in search results, and really benefit your practice that way as well. So I really appreciate your attention. If you have any questions, please reach out. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can send me a message. I am very happy to answer any questions. Social media is what I'm passionate about. So any opportunity I can get nerdy about it and answer some questions, I would love that. Thank you for your attention, and good luck with your social media.